Hi guys, it's Mariah from Karen.com, and I'm going to answer some Monday morning Mingle questions. I'm going to combine a couple of weeks because that's what I do. I break the rules. The first question, which decade do you think would have been most fun? And this question implies answering a decade that you perhaps were not a part of. But I'm going to break the rules once again and say that probably the 80s. Because I've lived them, and everybody jokes about the 80s and reminisces about the 80s, and I'm from the 80s. I graduated from high school in 84. So I remember the music and the fashion trends and just the overall innocence and the whole cheesiness of what the 80s were. And I kind of wish my boys could experience that, because it seems like nowadays people are so cynical and jaded and not so innocent anymore. So I don't know, I just think it would be fun if the boys could have experienced something like the 80s. I don't know that anything like that will ever come around again, but then again, maybe that's what I'll be saying about this decade, next decade, so you never know. On what TV show would you like to have a guest starring role? Well, I've really gotten hooked on Bones. It's a TV series about an anthropologist that pairs up with an FBI agent, and they solve mysteries. They solve murders. She solves these murders through examining the bones. And it's extremely interesting how they go about doing that. But I think one of the biggest things I would do if I were ever on the set of Bones is to sit down with the writer and ask this writer why they have not allowed the main character of this TV series, Bones, Temperance, to grow. She is the most stagnant character I have ever been interested in watching. She's extremely intelligent, high IQ, has spent her entire life with her nose buried in a book, so she's rather socially backward. She doesn't relate to people very well. You know, any references to modern day culture she is totally oblivious to, and you know, that would have worked, and that did work fine in the first series. We're now in like the fifth or sixth series, and it's getting really old, and I think the audience is getting really impatient with her, and the fact that she's not growing, she's not becoming more adept at blending into her surroundings. So I think that's what I would want to do. I'd want to guest star just mainly so I could talk to the writer and say, dude, make her grow. She's not going anywhere and people are getting impatient with her. So I don't know, spoken like a true writer, right? What's the strangest, weirdest thing you've ever done? Well, I asked Kevin what he thought, and the first thing he said was marrying me. That's so typical Kevin. Everything has to come back to him. I tease him about this all the time. But then I got to thinking about it, and he also teases me about twiddling my thumbs. I am a thumb twiddler. I do this a lot when I'm just thinking, like I'm sitting there and kind of staring off into space, and I'm just twiddling my thumbs as I think, or, you know, or I'm kind of rubbing my thumbnails as I think about something, and he just gets the biggest kick out of that. He just thinks that is the oddest thing. He said he's never known anybody who actually twiddles their thumbs, and I am a thumb twiddler. So I guess that's weird. I don't know. It's what I do. But then again, we all know I'm weird, so there you go. What is your favorite ride at amusement park? Well, I'm not I'm not into the rides really, but I do like roller coasters as long as I can pace myself. Now, we all went to an amusement park here close to where we live a couple of years back, and Kevin and I rode a couple of roller coasters back to back, and I was so sick for the rest of the day. It just kind of ruined the whole day, because I can handle those kind of rides as long as I take breaks. I get motion sickness very, very easily, like a passenger in a car driving across town, and I will get sick. I don't know what it is. I just can't handle a lot of motion. So I like roller coasters, but I have to like pace myself. So when we go to Disney World in July, and Kevin's going to want to ride the Aerosmith roller coaster at Hollywood Studios, I think that's where it is, I'm not sure, but that's fine. Just don't expect me to write anything else for like 2 hours afterwards. So, but you know, I don't know. I'm just not a big roller coaster or big amusement ride kind of person, and that's probably the reason why our boys aren't either, because I'm just not really that into them. What's the nicest thing you've ever done for someone? Well, I can't really come up with an answer to this because I try to be nice to everyone all the time. I can't really think of any one time that I was nicer than any other time. Does that make sense? I guess if I were going to answer this question, if I had to pinpoint something, it would probably be the websites I built for my son's elementary school and middle school for free, and I still maintain them for free. And that's fine. I enjoy it. It's a lot of work, but that's okay. I mean, like I said, I volunteered for the job, and I'm glad to help out, and I know that it's really blessed them and the parents to go someplace and get all their information, current, updated information. So, I don't know. I guess if I had to answer the question, that's what it would be, be building some websites for some schools. I don't know, just because they needed it, and I know how to do it, and I had the time, so there you go. What do you like best and least about your life? Well, don't roll your eyes at me, but probably the thing I like the best is everything. I like my life. I have a great life. I have a great husband and great kids and a great extended family, and I'm doing what I love to do, and I know it just sounds so boring, and oh my gosh, I don't want to make it sound like I'm perfect or anything. Far from it, believe me. But I have a pretty good situation, and I'm pretty happy in it. So I'd have to say that I like everything about my life. I know, I'm really sorry. That sounds so lame, I know. And the thing I like the least about my life is my lack of focus. I am not very good at focusing on one thing. I mean, you guys would just laugh if you saw my computer on any given day. I have like 10, 15 windows open at any given time, just alternating between these windows and doing different things, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I don't know. I hesitate to say that I have ADHD or anything like that, but I don't know. I think better when I have a lot of different things going on at once. It's bizarre, I know, and it is frustrating because a lot of times I get distracted so much that I don't finish what I started. And then when I find the time to get back to it, I've lost interest in it, and so it doesn't ever get finished. So I'd have to say that probably my lack of focus is the thing that I like the least about my life, and I'm really working hard on making myself focus on one or two or three things at a time, and really trying to get those 3 things done before I move on to the 4th, 5th, and 6th. So anyway, that's probably what I'd say is my biggest pet peeve with myself right now. I have got to work on that, and I will work on that. But anyway, those are the questions for this week, next week, for a few weeks. So guys, thanks again, as always, for stopping by my blog. It has a new design. What do you think about it? Because that's another thing that I got distracted by, was my blog template exploded. And I went to the other day, and it's like I had a header over here, and I had this much space between the sidebar, and I thought, what in the world? So, I didn't have time to fool with it. So instead of going through the CSS line by line, I just, did away with that template and did a whole new template, and actually I like it better. It's a little cleaner. So anyway, see? I can't even stay on topic before getting distracted and moving on to something else. It's a real problem. It's a very big issue for me. So, alright guys, thanks again for stopping by, and talk to you soon.